What's up, fam? Welcome back to this week's episode of Off the Reservation, a show that wants you to mind your P's and Q's. That's right, alphabet soup is delicious. My name's Mal.
And I'm El.
And I'm the son of Picasso.
Alphabet soup, man.
And off screen, we have our trusty, as always, LaRue. LaRue, say something.
Hello.
Hey.
Fresh in from France.
Yes, LaRue. Okay. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Off the Reservation.
I think well, we took off like 2 weeks, right? So we took off 2 weeks.
Yeah, in the last episode we had Indigenous Creatives. That was awesome.
And that was a bit of a challenge to get all of that edited, right? Because it was, I mean, it's been a while since we've had to deal with Zoom.
Yeah.
We were
getting better at it.
Zooming. But yeah, I think we really hit that and nailed that. And that was a pretty good interview. Like, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Shout out to Indigenous Creatives.
Yeah. Michaela, Pox, Imani, Chelsea, the whole crew.
Yeah.
It was a great episode.
Sorry,
this past week though, we went through Halloween. Halloween just came through.
How was your Halloween?
Oh man, it was, I don't know, it was a little lackluster. I feel like at a certain age you hit Halloween, and if you don't have kids, then it's just like isn't fun. You know,
Really?
It's
like before I had kids, like Halloween was just like, I was like, yeah, Halloween,
Yeah.
and like it was just like,
well, that's what I'm saying. Like you hit a certain age, and it's just kind of like I'm 30, and I'm like,
I gotta go back to work in the morning.
yeah, like I got responsibilities. You know?
oh my goodness, dude! Like I loved when Halloween fell on a Monday because it was just like it started Friday night, and you were like Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, and then you were like
the whole weekend
barely holding on. And you're like, oh man, and your costume's half broken, and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then you show up to the house party on Monday night.
See, I wasn't that cool.
Oh,
Nobody invited me to things like that.
I've never been to a house party.
oh man, like that was the day. Like New Mexico was like notorious for house parties.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like, cause I lived all over the place, right? And like, just New Mexico house parties are just way better than house parties all over the world.
You got somebody's abuelito, abuela cooking tamales and serving up shooters and stuff like that, right? Is that what happens?
I don't know about that.
As I said, I've never been to one, so
That's what your idea of house parties are. Some fresh homemade tortillas.
Yeah. That's what
Some sopas.
some sopa, some green chili stew, you know, that's what's up, you know.
Did you guys? So, did you take your kids out anywhere? Did you guys go?
Well, like we had a mini party on
really?
Monday night. Like my daughter.
Oh
had,
yeah, you guys had a bunch of kids over there.
Yeah, well, you were there too.
I showed up.
Yeah.
I was late.
So you've been to a house party?
And so they went. They just like went all over the neighborhood. But they're like so well behaved. Like when we were kids, like we were like terrorizers. You know what I mean?
Were literally trick or treating people.
Oh yeah, and like they were all well behaved.
This candy sucks.
that wasn't me.
Line.
Well, I mean, like for me, I mean our early ages of trick or treating, we, you know, extreme Christianity and everything, so therefore it was a lot of go to.
That was like the Baptist
Harvest
culture.
night.
Baptist culture was like
Harvest night.
No trick or treating.
Oh yeah.
It's
Halloween
the
was
devil.
Halloween was harvest night.
My mama says Halloween's of the devil.
Which is funny because so many churches now host
Just,
like
like,
a
embrace
Halloween,
it, yeah.
like, you know,
trunk or treats.
like we gotta take hold of this. You know,
I remember being that kid like at a young age, and like everybody the day after Halloween would be at school with like a big bag of candy, and like being the like conservative Baptist kid, like, you know, deacon's son. I'd just be like sitting there with just nothing. Like, hey, give me a now and later. And they're like, where's your Halloween candy? Oh, I left it at home. You know?
Or like people being like, I'll trade you, and I'm like, for what? I got nothing, bro. Got nothing.
I always remember getting the crappy candy, like Tootsie Rolls, and it's like, what's a Tootsie Roll? Why do I have 100 of these things? You know,
I like the Sweethearts. Those are my favorite.
When you were a kid, what was like the Halloween costume that you really wanted?
I always wanted. Actually, Mal had one. I always wanted a Batman with the fake muscles. You know,
with the nipples.
with the nipples. No.
With the nipples.
Yeah, George Clooney status.
Yeah.
No, I wanted
Clooney
I wanted that Batman, because that Batman and Robin movie with Clooney came out when we were kids, and they had the coolest costumes. It
You
was
know what was
funny.
weird?
No, it's funny because I was gonna. We were looking for costumes this year, and my wife was like, "Well, what do you want to be?" I was like, "I don't know. What do you want to be?" And she's like, "Well, this Catwoman suit could be cool." I was like, "All right." And then I could go as Batman. And I got to the store and I looked at, and I was like, No, I can't do it. She's like, what? I was like, I don't want to be the fat Batman. I'm going to be Fat Man out there. Not, hey, that guy's not Batman. That's Fat Man. You know, like, I didn't want to be that. I was like, I have all the muscles. Yeah, you know, but it's just like do you remember the beginning of The Dark Knight? They have all the fake Batmans that are like trying to help him out. And he's like, what's the difference between you and I? And he looks back. He's like, I'm not wearing hockey pads. It's like, that's how I would feel. Like, Batman would be like, nah, man. So that's I ended up going as a hunter, but it ended up looking more like a lumberjack, and I just kind of went for it.
A hunter.
Yeah.
That's a cool.
Yeah.
I was a skeleton.
Oh, really?
See, when I was a kid,
onesie.
it was all about like the homemade costumes. Like the like fancy like pre-made ones just weren't like.
See, we grew up with the homemade costumes so much that it was like, I kind of want the nice ones. I want the cool ones.
Like my daughter got like a unicorn, like flashing light one, like causing seizures. You know what I mean? Like she's like, Dad, look at me, and push a button, and she's all like lighting up.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and you know, like with Halloween always coming around this time of year, I think it always brings up, you know, the question is like the what was it, the appropriation of Native American culture and an idea, because I mean, you know, it falls right at the edge of Native American Heritage Month.
The beginning, right?
The beginning of Native American Heritage Month. And
it's in the fringe.
When that happens, it always brings up this question. So all of a sudden you see people running around in the Native American princess or Indian princess outfit.
Yeah.
And I think that's like one of those things that's always been kind of an issue that comes up.
Yeah, well,
so
you were telling us
kind of how we
that,
got to this topic today is, you know, I was looking at TikTok. I'm trying to get like my TikTok up and going. Yeah. And I ended up finding this. One of my friends forwarded the video to me. So do you have it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Let's watch that video.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Check it out.
Jess what? Abbas. Abbas? Yeah. I just wanted to ask you why you think it's appropriate for you to wear that outfit. And it's just out of curiosity. Do you know that I find it offensive, my kids find it offensive. We're Native Americans and that's not how we dress. I just want to record. I'm just asking you a question. I just want to know why you think it's appropriate. And why do you didn't do it to offend anybody? But you know that we're still here, that we don't really actually dress like that.
You need to step away from her business right now.
You need her a question why she thought it was appropriate.
Ask her without your phone.
Yeah, and I will leave.
Please do.
Man, that was like intense, man.
Yeah. We'll put a link down in the description if you want to check out the rest of the video.
Yeah. This directly goes back to what Malachi was talking about as far as people,
wearing Native American inspired clothing as a costume. And I mean, it comes back to that whole idea. And as we saw, you know, I think where it is in our society and in this day and age is like, if it comes to the point where like, if you feel uncomfortable with how somebody's presenting themselves in public to you, then you should be able to say something. Like if somebody comes up and is like making a ruckus in a public place, you should be able to be like, hey, look, I don't like that. And then you have the choice of whether or not to leave or not. But like, obviously this woman, she was like, hey, look, I want to inform you. I want to educate you because, you know, the person who was recording the video obviously came up and was like, hey, look, I just want to let you know what you're doing to an entire race of people is offensive.
Yeah.
And you could see right away her body language, that white lady, that Euro-American lady, her body language was closed off. You're not going to talk to me like that.
Oh, yeah. She was smiling. And then all of a sudden she realized, oh, this is going negative, and her face changed.
Yeah.
Which is essentially the same thing as wearing a MAGA hat. You know what I mean? Like you wear a MAGA hat, you expect it.
I realized, so I bought this hat because I bought it at a thrift store, and I was like, "Oh, it's a red hat, though." Thanks, Trump. You ruined red hats for all of us, man. Like it's a red hat. It's an RVCA hat, and
Yeah, but it's that whole thing of like it's like a people who wear MAGA hats. You see them go out there and they're wearing a MAGA hat.
Yeah, you're like,
and
I
they're
know what
expecting
you're
like
about.
I'm gonna like
you're
Oh,
putting
yeah.
post it up.
confrontation. Yeah.
You know, somebody comes up to them and you could see right away she was like, all right, I'm ready to go off on you because this, and that's what I'm saying is like
There is for sure a lot more in this video to unpack of what we just watched. Yeah, there's a lot more to unpack. Let's take a quick break and we're going to get back into this because this is our main topic for today. So we'll be right back. Thanks.
and we're back, and you know we just watched a video, and you know
It's getting heated in here.
it got real heated off camera.
Some words were said. Some feelings were maybe hurt. I'm
People
not
were
sure.
uninvited to each other's birthday party.
You know, what's really cool about this whole format of Off the Reservation and all of us being brothers is we all have different points of view. We all come from different past, I guess, life experiences. And so, we like to look at different sides of the coin, right? And I think that's important to do in situations like this because a lot of times you just see viral videos and you just see like just one lady getting demonized, right?
Oh,
and
I
you don't
mean,
know.
It's essentially comes down to it. This is clickbait. You know what I mean? Like I just switched to my scripts, but I mean, like at the same time, like obviously you see the video and you're like, oh man, this is controversial. I'm gonna see some I hate to say it, but violence on some level, like some kind of like, oh, okay, this is
And
gonna
then
be
especially having skin
confrontational.
in the game, being native, and you see something like that, you are like automatically invested into what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, like you guys said, like I think there is. We hear, like you were saying before, like we hear
There's two sides to it.
we understand that there's two sides to every story. I don't know. I agree with what was her name?
Stephanie.
Yeah, I agree that it is our duty if somebody is appropriating our culture to call them out on it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
But there's also the aspect of like, was it malicious? You know what I mean? Or it's just ignorance. You know what I mean? Because there's a difference. You know what I mean? If there was intention to like, if someone, like Buffalo head guy out in
Storming the Capitol.
Yeah, it's like, well, obviously he did that for a reason. You know what I mean? But it's like
You get up in the morning, you
it's
don't
also
automatically.
partly ignorance, I'm sure.
See, but at the same time, that's where it's completely different because obviously that guy fully believed that he was some sort of shaman, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like a Rachel Yucatel type thing with, the lady who was pretending she was a person of color.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, how far, when is the line
Where's
been
the line?
crossed?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, like, I mean, okay, so with anything, like, I got up this morning, you chose your red hat, I chose my blue shirt, I chose my pants. I got up, and then even for
I hope
Halloween,
you chose your pants.
I chose them. My wife chose them, but like, but what I'm saying is, like, we get up every morning, we look at ourselves, and we go, you know what? I'm gonna wear this. And there's been times when I've been like, do I wear my sweatpants to go record in? No, I want a level of, of professionalism in which I'm just I'm gonna wear pants with pockets in it.
Let's just say that each of us probably has a filter that we're like, well, maybe this isn't the best place to wear this,
And that's my wife.
or
My wife
this is the
mine.
time to wear that, or discuss something in the parking lot, Malachi. No, but like we all have a choice. I think it's kind of what you're getting at. Is we all make choices.
And so
A man's got to make a choice.
But at the same time, this whole issue of Native American clothing being worn as a costume has been a hot topic for generations. Ever since, like, I mean, essentially ever since Pocahontas came out, because automatically they had Pocahontas outfits, and then pretty soon they had the sexy Indian princess costume that came out, which was basically an adapted Pocahontas costume, which therefore created this fetishization of Native Americans over generations.
Yeah.
That it was started way back when the original story of Pocahontas came out. This whole story of John Smith coming to America, finding himself a young Native American who, from his story, is underage.
Oh, yeah.
In our current times is considered underage. She was like 13, 14.
Yep.
And essentially, I mean, I'm getting heated into this. So what I'm saying is it's this propagation of this fetishization of our Native American women. I'm sorry, I'm like railroading this whole thing, but I mean,
no. You do bring a valid point, because at a certain point, this lady is responsible for what she wore, right?
Yeah.
And if she was in public, everybody has every right to tell her what they view of what she's wearing, right? Like I go out, I'm wearing some shoes that people are like, oh, those are nice shoes, right? I didn't necessarily warrant that attention, but I'm in public. I have no right to privacy.
Mm-hmm.
So I love the fact that this Native woman had enough strength in her to say something. Like, there's been too many times in our culture's past where Native women have just been told, like this lady said, go away, right?
Yeah.
Go away, go away, go away.
Oh, that bugged me.
And it's like, no, we're not going to go away.
Yeah.
It's
You know what I mean?
Shush.
Yeah.
Being shushed.
And so it's hard. It's hard being Indian.
Ain't easy being greasy.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think too many times we don't often stand up for ourselves for fear that we're going to be, like you said, like
ostracized.
Ostracized, shushed, silenced. You know what I mean? For our beliefs. And
because if essentially, I mean, from the rest of the video, it's not just that lady she was confronting. All of a sudden, she's got another lady.
Oh, she had a ton
her.
of white allies come to her
Yeah.
defense.
And pretty
help her.
soon, you're the one Indian
And that's what it is like a lot, to be the only Indian in the room. You know,
trying to make yourself heard.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden, you have other Euro Americans coming up and being like, no, leave her alone. Don't be bothering her. Why are you trying to bother her? When it all began with, hey, do you understand that what you're wearing is offensive? Trying to end it from a point of education, and all of a sudden now it's, I'm afraid for my life. I'm afraid for my child's life. I'm afraid that we're going to get beat up on our way to our car, because now I got to worry about
man, people be crazy, man.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They get crazy. No, I think those are all valid points. I think she had every right to say something. Absolutely.
Mhm.
I think when you stick a camera in somebody's face, I think the tone immediately changes from I'm just trying to let you know to I am trying to antagonize you. Like, I want to antagonize you in some way. You know what I mean? Whether like that was the intention or not, I think that's how things are. It's like seen today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If someone comes up to you with a camera in your face, it immediately feels hostile. You know what I'm saying? And so I think there's certain ways to go about having these conversations with people, you know, that it won't escalate so quickly. You know what I mean? But, you know, trying to catch someone on a camera looking dumb or feeling dumb immediately, it's going to warrant these, like, you know, this angry feeling inside.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think like some backstory is warranted. Like, I would love to know if this was a school sanctioned event, because if it was,
they were in a gymnasium.
Yeah, then this lady should have just went over her head and went to the administration and been like, look, what this lady's wearing shouldn't even be allowed in here.
Yeah.
You know,
and therefore have somebody of authority be in place.
Yeah.
And to take care of this whole situation. And it's the same thing I think of like the people who watch the police. You know,
your First Amendment audit.
First Amendment audit is like, you see in those situations, a person takes his camera, puts it in the face of someone who's a police officer, and automatically you see that interaction go from, hey, you need to get out of here, to 100%. all right, I'm going to take your camera. I'm going to seize all your stuff. Give me all your video. And then.
Yeah. And like, let's be honest, like in those situations, that's what the auditors want, right? They want to elicit a reaction, and they want to see if the officer is going to handle it the correct way, professionally, or emotionally.
Or like
you
a
know what I'm
tyrant.
saying? Yeah. You know, emotionally with hey, like I don't have to stand for this. I'm an officer. I can do what I want. That's the reaction, and I think this is my personal feeling. If you want to, if you're trying to evoke change in something, you don't do that by solely being confrontational. Like you said, I think there's ways, right? You go over the lady's head and you say, look, there's someone above this lady. Like, that's the person I'm going to talk to. You know what I'm saying? And instead of, I'm going to go confront her and make a big scene. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, it had to have gone through her head that that's what was going to happen. You know, that's immediately what would have gone through my head if I was like, I want to say something, but it could get out of hand, you know? So.
Which we see that it gets out of hand.
Which is why she had the camera, because she wanted it to be, you know, she wanted there to be evidence for when it did get out of hand. I think, you know, that's what my idea of having a camera would be like, wow, I want everyone to know that I wasn't the one in the wrong. These people became very aggressive, you know, very fast. And it's like, I want evidence, you know? So it's like, there's this whole like battle of like, ooh, who's going to get the upper hand?
Well,
stuff,
and
you know?
I see the side too, where like I just said, that lady was filled with a room of other allies, right? The only ally that this, you know, Native woman had was her camera.
Yeah.
Right. So I see that. And because then that's like the ultimate equalizer. Yeah. All of a sudden they can't perpetrate silently anymore.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, no, they're then held accountable for their actions if it were to have gotten violent or something, right? There's evidence, and you know, like I agree. Like if you're going in solo, like you need backup, and if the only backup you have is your phone, then do it. You know. Yeah. But I agree with you when you said there might have been another way to go about it. You know. Yeah. Well, hey, I think we still have a little bit more to talk about on this conversation, right?
Yeah.
Why don't we take a quick break and we'll be right back with some more Off the Reservation. Yeah.
Hey guys, hope you're enjoying the show. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe. And remember to share the show, because sharing is caring. Now back to the show.
All right, guys, welcome back. We are off the reservation. Currently, we are discussing the.
We are located off the reservation.
Yes, we are. We are. We're from off the reservation. We're off. We're completely off. We're off the reservation.
You know, we did introduce our camera technician, LaRue, and how we gave her a microphone. But I feel like, seeing as we are the front people, we're in front of the camera.
Yeah, we often don't have.
Well, we railroaded the whole conversation.
Oh yeah, we didn't even think to ask.
Yeah.
For the opinion of our camera person. So, no.
Rue, do you have anything to say, or do you want us to circle back around to you until you have something?
I know we gave you the most awkward way of coming into this comment. Why don't you just chime in? With your thoughts? We'll give you a second.
Yeah, just raise your hand.
Real fast. So I was digging, looking, because I love, the way the internet works. You just start looking and going through the comments, and I found the original video was posted by Eugenia Camus.
Oh, okay.
So this is that's the lady who had this whole interaction.
Oh, okay, so it's Eugenia.
Yeah, Eugenia. But she's friends with the
Stephanie.
With Stephanie.
Okay.
Who posted the video.
Well, Stephanie also got it out there. So so thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Eugenia, for being the one. We needed someone to be the one, and you became the one. But
I'm the one. Yeah, I'm the one. So I mean, we were discussing about. I don't know. Where were we talking about?
Well, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, this is how I feel about this. Is where do we go next with this, right? So, what do we do to make sure that things like this don't happen in the future? Like, what can we do? How does the dialogue even start to make sure that, these types of moments don't happen?
Yeah.
Well, and honestly, that comes down to like we always try to say, like, education is the major thing. And one of the ways we've tried to educate people is just like how she went up and confronted her. And you got to be careful, because in these situations, whenever you confront anybody nowadays, whether it's they bump your car, or feel that once one person feels that they are in the wrong about something, which, like, from the little bit I know about body language, whenever you cross your arms in front of yourself or cross your legs or anything like that, it's this innate natural reaction to being, like, feeling exposed. And so when you cross up, you're protecting all your vital organs.
Yeah.
Therefore, you could tell that she knew that she was in the wrong. She was trying to protect herself and being like, I'm upset. But a lot of people's reactions nowadays is to, when they're in the wrong, is to start fighting.
Yeah.
And you got to be careful. You got to watch your back. And, in some cases, people be crazy out there.
Yeah. Yeah. People, there's like so many people that are like just looking for a reason to, like, go off the hinge. I feel like some of her allies that were there, that got into the face of
that lady that grabbed her.
Yeah. I think there's people that are just like, for whatever reason, they got all their anger bottled up, and they're just waiting for a moment for them to be able to just, like, jump in there and start, arguing and like escalate it,
Yeah.
So it's I think you gotta be careful,
I think it's increased due to the fact that, like, I don't think it's increased. I think our awareness of it has increased because of our technology. We have cameras literally everywhere. People are now able to look back at CCTV and see, oh, that guy was the one that hit my car. Or now everyone's got 2 cameras on their phones, and look at my phone. I got 3 ports for camera footage.
It's a lot of camera footage.
It's a lot of footage going on around there. And so now we're able to capture these people on camera and be like, hey, look, you're doing this. I'm able to let other people know that you're doing this. And one of the side effects is that we see is people who do perpetrate to do these things, suddenly we have these allies, and myself don't know how I feel about it, but they're trying to find out where she works and where she lives, and trying to figure out how can we get to this woman.
Wait, who's trying to find?
Just in general.
Just the community. They're trying to find
community.
out
who the perpetrator was?
Yeah. Who the perpetrator, the woman.
Who the Indian princess was?
Yeah.
What tribe is she from?
Does she have a CIB?
Yeah, I want to see that. See her. Is she on roll?
But this is the thing that happens with these videos is suddenly you get people who come out and they're like, hey,
now she has to pay.
And
yeah, that's where it gets dangerous too.
And it gets dangerous because you get people like what happened with Pelosi and her husband.
Oh yeah,
that guy broke in and tried to beat up her husband.
We here at the Reservation don't condone any sort of violence at all,
because
we're above it, and things can be solved with words so easily.
Use your words.
And, but with that said, like how you were saying, things get taken over the top so easy that people do make rash decisions, like you were saying with this Pelosi thing, and it doesn't need to go that direction, especially with Native people educating non-natives about our culture, about what is appropriate and what is not appropriate.
With advances our society is, and this is me like scolding our society, we should be able to communicate rationally with one another about the things that they've done wrong and the things they've done wrong against us. It should not ever have to come to violence. That being said, I'm not against it in general. I'm just saying, like we should be able to go and be like, hey, look, this is something that's wrong. We should be able to communicate you that that's wrong.
Yeah.
Well, it's almost like this culture of like gotcha journalism, though, right? Like you guys were saying earlier, like she's kind of almost like fishing for this lady to to have a,
Yeah.
a disagreement with her. And had she been like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize, and taken off like whatever she could have at the time, like that lady wouldn't have posted that, like you don't post that kind of thing. You're posting the ones that get like the
The bad
agitation
reaction.
out
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah. And I see that. That's where I'm kind of like, look, like I said earlier, if we really want to invoke change, it doesn't happen by sticking a camera in somebody's face. What's his name who made Bowling for Columbine? What's his name?
Michael Moore.
Michael Moore. Yeah. Like we can't go Michael Moore on everything, and you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I love Michael Moore.
I look, there's some things that do, but like to just run up to any guy on the street and be like,
Yeah.
you done messed up.
After watching the First Amendment audits or the auditors,
You're a little more
I
understanding of it.
I am, because
Yeah.
I didn't realize how many cameras there are just put up by the state, put up by your local magistrate, city cameras. Like these people can just, subpoena, DPS can come up and be like, hey, I need this, this, and this, and they're just going to give them the footage, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, we're filmed everywhere as it is. So what's one more camera in your face now,
Well, see, I think I like what I said. Like, I think it's really just like you when you do that, that you're because of that very reason.
Yeah.
Everybody becomes on edge when you get a camera thrown in your face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if you're truly trying to make a point, I just don't think the best way is by throwing a camera in somebody's face, because you're immediately, their response isn't going to be like, oh yeah, you're right. Let me go change. It's, who are you and why are you putting your camera in my face? And then all of a sudden you get a crowd of people, like it's dangerous, I think.
I don't know. One of my favorite amendment auditors to watch is the Amaganet Press. And it's like, part of it is they're the types that don't go put the camera in their face. But keep in mind, when they show up on location, they have one of the giant, biggest cameras and all the equipment, right? So he's like there with a monopod and like this big camera, and like he's filming.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I get what you're doing.
Yeah. No,
So-
I mean, there's a time and let's just say there's a time and a place.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And there's a time and a place, and there's a way to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that just overall in general, things tend to be more confrontational. When you pull your phone out and you put it in someone's face and you're trying to lecture them, it's like, there's got to be a better way to do this, because, and it's just like in general for people out there, be careful. Like, be careful when you do that. Be aware of where you're at, of who you're with, and who's around, because you don't know. People can get unhinged, man. People get crazy, just like, just be aware. That's all I'm saying.
Which
Look out for those red hats.
which just brings me back to this whole idea. Like I said it the other day, the internet is like the wild, wild west. Like you take something and you put it on the internet, and it's out there for anyone within this planet to view. They can look at it, they can see it. Like, I'm pretty sure, you can look up videos on how to fix your washer, and
I actually
you
did
just
this week.
Yeah, and it's helpful. But then at the same time, we got people who are posting these angry interactions, and suddenly,
or even just the opposite, and it's like just hateful stuff.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I know.
right.
Did you see that Elon Musk laid off half of Twitter?
Yeah.
And they said that 90% of, or I'm sorry, not 90, I think it was like 50% of Twitter they were saying is like hate speech and this and that. And he's like, just the way they're trying to police social media now is
I mean, and it's like the wild, wild west. You got, and I remember like coming up, we came up in the generation when we had to look up information from the encyclopedia.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I
What
don't
was
know.
the World Wide Web?
Yeah. And then all of a sudden now I looked up how to get to Starbucks a mile away from my house, Like, I'm using the internet ridiculously and arbitrarily as much as I possibly can. And with that, like, people no longer have like this overwhelming sense of like, hey, we're just gonna put on good things. Now it's like okay, it's the Wild West, we're just gonna start throwing out random accusations and random information, and now it's hard to vet what really happened. Maybe that woman, her daughter was like, hey, I want to be, I don't know, Kocoum or the raccoon from Pocahontas, so therefore you have to dress up in as Pocahontas so I can sit on your shoulder and whatever. And
Oh man, you said that and now I feel bad.
you know what I mean?
Because you're right. There are multiple sides to this story.
Yeah.
So
just like we said in the
crazy.
beginning, like I mean, like that's what my feeling is like like I can go into this situation and like automatically I was like, oh, that's messed up, like don't even pull that with me.
Yeah.
But then I thought about it and I was like, I have a child now. If he wanted to dress up as, you know, whatever he wanted to, and I was like, therefore he like requested that I wear the opposing costume. Now I'm like, okay, do I like, is he gonna run around as little Abu from Aladdin and I gotta dress up as Aladdin now? Like now what do how do I respond to that? I'm like, I'm sorry, son, according to the Cultural Appropriation Act of 2022, I can't wear that costume, you know? Like,
let's keep it in the Native American realm, son.
we have free license to wear whatever we want there.
What we can't do is step into another culture. No.
yeah.
You're gonna get daddy canceled.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is obviously we could talk about this for hours.
Yeah.
Because
And
there's a lot of
it's
things.
Huge subject.
I think a huge thing is just intent. You know, what was the
Yeah.
intent behind it? You know,
and that's left up to a court of law.
all right, man. You guys got anything else on this subject for today?
Root, you got anything?
No.
You got some fat beats to lay down?
All right, cool. Well, hey, tell us what you think. You know, tell we want to hear. We're gonna open it up for discussion because we're open to hearing everybody's opinions.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not everybody.
You guys can be mad at us.
Yeah. Yeah. No, really.
But
you know,
don't
what do you
don't
think?
say it. Don't tell me.
Just don't shove a camera in my face, please.
I'm sorry.
I love how she put like the like diamond like almonds in the front of the camera. So
when she was hiding her face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you guys think? We want to know. So let us know in the comments.
Right now, I want to say I'm sorry for anything that I said that may be construed to be offensive. Just saying. Right away.
That's like a scapegoat, man.
Hey, I already apologized. I'm already sorry.
Yeah, you're already covered. All right. Well, hey, thanks guys for listening in. We are off the reservation, and we'll catch you next week.
Catch you on the flip side.
All right, cool.
Hop, the flippy pop.